Good afternoon and welcome to another session. It's Monday, first trading week, full trading week of the month of October, and we are currently looking at the DXY, the dollar index. Today has been, I think we've just had, looking on the, put this daily dividers on, looking at what price is doing since morning market open, and we dropped down, which is exactly what I've been looking for since Friday. On Friday, I wanted to see the market drop inside this area to take out these lows, and especially the 93.42. That's the level I'm watching for bullishness to come into the market. Now they've taken out this low. Okay, that's previous week low taken. Yeah, I'm not gonna get rid of these lines. I'm gonna bring in this for you to see, because once you see the previous weeks, you understand why I'm expecting what I'm expecting. So they've just run previous week low, so we could see let's change this to different color, blue. My favorite color is blue or sky blue. Okay, so they have run previous week low right here today, right now. So going forward, I'm expecting, or I want to see a rejection. Yeah, I want to see a rejection, because if you go back to the daily, the daily is bullish, right? And we are in a retracement. We had a breaking structure over here, retracement, and went up, and this is another retracement. So I'm looking at a run below this. Okay, that's why I've got the 93, the red line, 93.42. It will be a run below this low, which is also below previous week low. So going forward, I'm looking for a rejection and then a continuation to the upside, and I'm only doing so because of the daily. The daily is bullish, and I want to continue going with the daily trend. Okay, so that's why I've been patient for all this retracement to happen. So if you measure this this low to that high, we are just now sitting at the 618, okay, which is decent. It's not bad for price to reverse here and continue going higher. As a matter of fact, they can do that, but I would like them to run these down candles low. Okay, run that into the 93.42 and then reject. Okay, so going forward, we could see some form of a rejection going into late afternoon or early tomorrow morning. And today being Monday, I don't want to take any trade, but if we do reject any break market structure, then yes, I've been interested in taking any trade to continue going up. So I'll be watching all the other pairs to make sure they conform with what the dollar is doing. So I'm going to jump onto euro, and euro has also let's see if it's run previous week high. So if I draw a line here, just about running that. So I've deleted most of my stuff because I was going through my analysis for this week, so I've deleted most of the stuff that I had on for this pair. But what I'm looking for essentially is this. Okay, a run above these highs into that down candle there, and then a rejection. Right, so this week we might get Monday, Tuesday. Monday we've already gone up, so I'm gonna start looking out for a breaking structure. So if we don't break structure, then I don't do anything, because it can keep going up, and that's fine, because I want to, like I said, I want to follow the daily trend. This is a pullback, so I have to sit out and watch it pull to wherever it wants to pull to, and then once it gives me the break to continue going lower, then I'll join it. So I'm currently waiting for price to give me a break. So where I'm expecting that to happen is this area. Okay, and the 70.5 level is a decent level. That will run this high, and that will be very good. I can even show here with a stop above there, and then look for and move all the way back down here. That's a possible trade idea, but I don't want to have this huge stop loss. Right, I don't want to have this huge stop loss, so I'm gonna wait till it gives me a rejection, then I can go in. Right, so have this on your chart. That's where you're looking for price to reject. If you don't reject and you go above it, then there's a possibility that they might run back up and change price direction again, which is change price and continue going up. And if that happens, no problem, we just have to wait for pullback again. All right, so let's leave this as it is. And on the 4 hour, we do have these consecutive down candles, so that'll be a very good area to start monitoring, just like we do have in here. Okay, where we had down candles, we went up, and then we had a speed breakdown, and then you watch the down candle as your area where it's potential gonna give you a trade entry. So this down candle, you're gonna keep an eye on that based on the 4 hour for a potential. If we break down, because we've not formed any down candle yet apart from this one prior to coming into this box, that's the one you monitor. On the 1 hour time frame, there is one here. Yeah, this one, that's the one you monitor on the 1 hour time frame for now. Okay, and then you can drop down to the 15 and so on, because it is really the kind of trader you are. Then you go for the specific time frame, and then you look for the breaking structure. Okay, so as a swing trader, I'm waiting for the 4. As a short term to a day trader, you look for the 1, and for day trading only, you look for 15 and 5. Yeah, and then for your scalping, between 5 and 1, you start looking for breaking structure and something like this. Okay, you break down this down candle, and then you take a short in here. Okay, so to give you what I'm looking for is based on the 4 hour. This is something I'm looking for. I'm waiting for market to break down, then I sell here and continue going down. Okay, so this is just like a scalping. So I'm looking for it based on the higher time frame. So I'm going all the way to 1 hour, this down candle, and on the 4 hour, this one. Okay, because I don't have the time to be sitting on this 1 minute time frame. Okay, I will lose my focus, and by the time the market structure breaks, maybe my wife or my little boy will be on my case, and I will not be able to, not that I will not be able, but the focus on the set up to take the trade might not be there. Okay, so that's why I go on the higher time frame. So watch out for this down candle and that one. On pound dollar, like I kept mentioning, this equal high is just too good for them to leave it. So where we are now, that's where they are going. Okay, we've just had a recent run on stops based on the 1 hour time frame here. So with that, this is just gonna be taken. Okay, and we do have the breaker on the daily, which we didn't go or didn't hit. So that's where I'm looking for price to come to now. And once we get there, it's a weekly last up candle, so we might get some rejection from there. So I'll be watching tomorrow how price will react there. So same thing I'm looking on the euro, same thing I'm looking on the pound. But when they do break market structure, I'll look at the euro pound and then decide which one to take, whether to take the euro or to take the pound as a short. Okay, so have this on your chart. That's your breaker on the daily. That's where price should be heading for now. And then once we get there, I'll be looking for what I showed you on the 1 minute chart based on euro 1 minute chart. I'll be looking for it on the 1 hour and on the 4 hour. So right now on the 4 hour, this is the down candle. Even though we have this in the middle, I don't trust them. This one is the one I'm looking at. And then based on the 1 hour, I'll be looking at this one here. Okay, so if we do form another one somewhere in there, then I will go for that one. But right now, this is the down candle I'm watching. And then if we break this, then I'll be looking for a sell to continue going down. I like the way they've left here. Yeah, I like the way they've left that consolidation. Is a typical price run to go up and to come back down. So we might get a run above this high into that and then rejection and come back down. So this is a good thing, or this is a good price action that they've left down here. Okay, I'll show you examples of it when we go into Aussie New Zealand. Okay, so watch this down candle on the 1 hour, and on the 4 hour you watch this one. Okay, the downside objective is the daily gap in here. That's the daily gap. The small one will be these down candles, high and that low. Okay, that's your downside objective. So if you do get a break above in here, then you'll be looking for price to run this and into this gap. New Zealand dollar, we've come back to the breaker, which is this one here. We've come back to the breaker, a big last down candle, and I think we are currently trading at the mean threshold right there. Okay, so that's the middle of that last down candle. So the breaker is what is supporting price now. We had a reaction at the low, and then we're having a reaction at, I don't want to see them go above this this down candle. I want to see a rejection. So maybe price will run previous week's high, which is this candle high, run that high and then reject, and then start coming lower, and to take out this equal low in here. Okay, because they've already run this high. So with that information, I think they should come down and take out this low. Okay, because the money they took up in here, they have to take it out somewhere. Okay, I don't think this is the right place to take it, so they need to come down here and dump it. So I'll be expecting the position they took up there to be dumped down here. So this is probably just a pullback to fill up their pocket again and then send it back down, right? So I'll be expecting a run, a high of the week between Monday, Tuesday, so today and tomorrow. I'll be expecting them to run this high and then a rejection. So to give you an idea, all you have to do is measure this, okay, and you can see again that's also the 50% level. So there's a high probability we might just see a run above this high and a rejection and a continuation to the downside. If not, then the 618, which will be the weekly. Let's go. Yeah, hang on. Almost the weekly mean threshold. The 70% is the weekly mean threshold. 50% is fine. Looking at where this last up candle is, and we do have a down candle in here as well, so 50% is ideal. So a run above last week's high, which is this candle's high, a run above that into, let's push all this here and push all that there. Okay, I don't think they should go higher than where they are, but at least to run and pick up some orders, run above this high into that area, little area in there, and then a rejection to continue going lower. Okay, because that's the weekly last up candle. We've also broken down here. Okay, so that's the order block, the last up candle, and the breaker at the same level. So there's a lot of confluence sitting here, so we could see price run this high, hit that, and then rejection for the rest of the week. So going forward, I'll be monitoring. I don't see any down candle yet, so let's go on the 4-hour. For now, I'll be watching this one. If I do see a move above this high, then I'll watch that. Okay, it's not even that clear, so I'll wait for the run. Before it does the run, there will be a down candle. That will be so obvious. So before they run last week's high, which is this high here, there will be a down candle. That will be obvious. Okay, because it will be something like this. Okay, maybe they're gonna retrace, and then tomorrow overnight they might run it up, turn around here, and then the down candle left there, we break it, then you start looking for sells. I'm not sure about how can I help you. I'm not sure what kind of help you need, so if you can make it clearer, then I can help. Okay, so we will be looking for a run above this high. I think this up candle will be the barrier, because that is the run on stops here and then breaking structure there, sitting at that weekly bearish order block. So I'll be watching this. Okay, maybe it might happen overnight and then you might not see it. Okay, it might happen overnight and then you might not see it. So have these levels on your chart. The last up candle on the weekly here, the opening price. Yeah, the opening price, that's exactly where this last up candle is also sitting at. So you want to have that on your chart, and then let price come up there, reject and break down, then you can start looking for sell. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, let's go on the weekly. Zoom in. We have this last up candle, and then we broke down. We haven't taken out any swing low. The weekly, the monthly is bullish. We failed to close below here. So previous month low has been taken, and we spent no time there. Quickly rejected. Right. What I'll be looking for is how they run this previous week high. Do they close above it, or they just run it? If they close, then I think they might continue going higher on this pair. Let's bring in these lines. Okay, so that was previous month low, and they've run it and quickly rejected. So if they close above, let's go into the 4-hour and then change this to weekly levels. Okay, if they close above this high, then we might see some form of a continuation to the upside, maybe to take out this high and maybe that high as well. Okay, if we close above this high, then they might be attempting to take out that high and then that high. But if they run it and reject, then they will be coming back down. Okay, so if they run this and reject, then they will be coming back down. Based on market structure on the daily, we should be continuing going down. Yeah, based on the market structure on the daily, we should be continuing going down, and that's what I will usually go with. Okay, I will usually go with the daily market structure all the time. You always go with the daily market structure, because once the daily changes direction, it takes a lot of time before it changes back. So the fact that they managed to break down here, taking out this low, because price found support here, so that meant that they were willing to continue going higher, and then they broke it down. So with this breakdown, with this speed, I'm expecting some form of a continuation to the downside. So I will stick with that until we come back up here. So if I do take a trade and I take a loss, I know I did the right thing. Okay, that's the protocol. That's my trade plan, right, to go with the daily market structure. So if you're bearish and we pull back, I look for a sell to continue going down. Okay, so last week high, they might run that and then reject and continue going lower. So that's what I'll be looking at. Based on the 4-hour, they've broken structure here. Yeah, they've broken. You can see high, low, and then lower low. So this could be a run back to this up candle and then a move back down. Yeah, this could be a run to this last up candle and then a move back down. But because you're in a new week and this previous week high is there, they could just run it up there, take out that high, and then run down. Okay, so I'll wait till tomorrow and then see what they are going to do. And another thing that you need to be aware of is this one. We do have rate announcement early hours tomorrow at 4:30 my time, which is GMT. Okay, so you need to be aware of that and be careful. Okay, so you do not try to get into any position as of now. Whatever is going to happen tomorrow, which is the rate announcement, it will determine the direction this pair wants to go. Okay, it will determine the direction this pair wants to go, and then once we see that, then we can take action. My gut tells me that they might run this high and then reject and come and continue going lower. That's what my gut tells me, or my intuition tells me. So they might want to come up in here to this last up candles wick. So with the rate announcement, they could send price high, reject, and then come back down and look for continuation to the downside over the course of the week, not obviously in one day. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for early hours tomorrow morning, my time. So maybe I'll stay up and watch it and see what price does, because rate announcement hours are always interesting. I've watched almost all of them for the last 3 months. I've watched every rate announcement and then watch what price does. And the beautiful one recently was the New Zealand dollar, where I personally took a short from here. Yeah, that was a rate announcement. There was a rate announcement right here. So when the announcement came in here, price went back to this down candle and then took a short, and then we just eroded back down, right? So we could get something like that, where they will make the announcement, price will run up into a breaker, and then we get a short. So same thing in here, we might get price to run up, break down, and then we can get a short to continue going lower. We do have equal highs in here based on the 1 hour, so chances are that's what they will target with the rate announcement and then break back down. Okay, so watch that going into tomorrow, early hours tomorrow. New Zealand dollar yen. On dollar yen, I was looking for a buy in here. Price didn't quite get there. If you go on to the daily, you see why in this down candle. That's why I was looking for the buy for a potential run above this high. Just take this one off. Trade is done. For now, it looks like they want to come for this equal high. Right, but I would have loved them to hit this before going up, but where we are sitting right now, I don't think they might. So we would see probably price come above these highs in here, because they're all, it's like a downtrend high, so they will be looking to punish those downtrend traders or trend line traders, because that's what they were trying to do in here, and then they kill them off. And then right here, it broke back down, they'll be willing to sell short again, and then again they kill them off, right? So it looks like they want to come up for the month of October. That is my target, this equal high. And then if we get wild price movement, which I think there will be, because of the presidential election for the dollar. Okay, because of the presidential election for the dollar, we might get some pretty wild movement in the last week of October, or maybe the third week of October. So again, that's something that you guys need to be aware of and be really mindful. Because of the election, there's going to be some crazy movement, which happened in 2016. I did witness that. Yeah, in here, that was the election, going into the election for Trump. Yeah, when Trump got elected. So the last week of October, we had a pretty wild move to the downside, and the first week of November we had that to end of the year. Okay, so we might get something of that sort going forward, because we have again an election, so we might get some. I don't think they will come back down because they've already done that job here. They've already done that job here by taking out this low. So maybe it's gonna go up for the second and third week of October, maybe somewhere up in here, and then going into November, or the last week of October to the first week of November, write it back down and then send it higher. Yeah, price is always doing same thing. It's just they use these events as a smoke screen, or as a reason why price did what it did. But price is always doing what it needs to do, which is it needs to take out these equal highs in here. So they might drive it up here, and then towards the end of the month send it down, and then once they do the election, have a pretty wild move to the upside. Okay, so going forward, if we do see any run on stops, because price has just rejected all this move to the downside, if we do see a run on stops and a rejection, i.e. if you see something like this, yeah, the run on stops and then a retracement, then you can go long. Okay, so right now we've retraced all the way back to this last up candle, so we might see a pullback. I will not be surprised if they pull all the way back to where I'm expecting it to rally. Okay, because we are in a new month and they have to manipulate price. Based on the 4-hour, we need to close above this high. Yeah, we need to close above that high for me to be bullish again. Right now it's just a run on stop, so for me to be bullish they need to close above that high, and then once they do, I think this highs is gonna go, all these highs in here. I can place like this, that one, you understand what I mean? That one, they're all layered pretty much nicely, so there are stops sitting above them. I think some people are still short and their stop loss will be above these highs. All right, so that's where they want to go now after taking out this one. Okay, so I just take them all off and then use just one trend line to determine why price wants to go there. Okay, so all these are stops. Dollar CAD, price has dropped back down into where I'm expecting bullishness, so I'll be patient and let it drop, and then I'll be looking for a buy. I could go short here, or I could have gone short here by taking a sell at this down candle. Remember, that's the breaker after running this high. Okay, but the reason why I'm not selling short is because that's counter trend. I'm going against the daily, and I don't like doing that for many reasons, because I don't know where these guys are gonna step in and then turn price around. I have a rough idea, but I don't know where exactly. Okay, so by me selling short here, I'll just be, my profit range is not big enough. Yeah, So if I sell short right here, this down candle, if I sell short right here and I target, let's get rid of this, and I target even there, okay, that's not good enough. 1 2 almost 8, maybe there, but I'm not sure if they're going to get there. That's the problem. Okay, I'm not 100% sure they're going to get there, but what I'm 100% sure is if price does turn around in here, then I'm 100% sure they're going to come back up here. So then I will have this kind of trade wherever they turn around with this trade, because it's more guarantee that they're going to run to that high after there's a turnaround in here. So it's better to go with the flow on the daily rather than trying to go short, counter trend in the daily. Okay, because if you look on the daily, this is not bearish at the moment. It might look bearish, but it's not. Yeah, if you go on the weekly, then yes, we are bearish, but I'm trading the daily flow. So if the daily flow has not broken down, then I will be trading the daily flow. So until this low is taken out, if we take this low out, then I'll be looking to sell again to follow the weekly trend. But as long as the daily is bullish, I want to follow the daily, right? So if you measure this low to the high, okay, 618 is right there. So that's where I'm expecting price to come to. So maybe we might get a turnaround tomorrow in here, and then as soon as we break market structure, then I'll be in for a long to come and take out these nicely layered equal highs, and then I have this as a potential target as well, and run above this high. Yeah, so not just a run above that, but also a run above this one. Okay, let's see how far this thing retraced. Yep, it didn't even get to the 618. So I think this is just a pullback, and we're gonna get a continuation to the upside, because the weekly range, which is this one to that low, we barely even touched the 618. So I think there's still room to the upside. All right, so look for some form of a rejection down here, and then maybe looking for a long. This level doesn't look bad. If we drop all the way down there, I might take it straight away from this, which will offer more risk to reward. Let's get rid of this box. I've done with that. If we drop all the way down here, then that will be a nice trade, because there was a huge move away from that level. So there might be the guy next door still waiting to buy there, and then I'll buy with him. Okay, and then I'll target here, but my first target would be above this high. Second target would be the last up candle, and then third, and then I'll leave someone to see if it has room to get up there. Okay, so if you do drop down in here, then I'll be buying straight away. But if we do get here, I'll wait for breaking structure on the lower time frame. So on the 1 hour, if we do this, then I'll be interested in buying. Okay, if we don't do that, then I'll still wait till price get down here. Then here, I don't need to wait for the break, because I like the level as it is. So I'll buy straight as it drops down there. Okay, I'll be willing to risk here, but I'm not willing to do this. I'm not willing to do this. That's not good, right? So that's what I'll be willing to do, and then in here I'll be willing to do that. Next one, okay, Obviously I was doing stuff over the weekend. So on dollar Swiss, I'm looking for a run below this. That will put me in, we're almost there. Okay, at least a 618. Yeah, that will run the stops. Previous week low has been taken right here into a previous area of resistance. I know you don't yet. The support and resistance, people will step in by drawing something like this. Okay, they might draw something like this. There was here. Let me do it properly, because I haven't traded support and resistance, but I understand sometimes what they draw, because they're looking for areas where price either rejected or price found it hard to break. So you can see price rejected there, rejected here, rejected there, rejected there, here, 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 here. So that's where they'll be expecting price to do what? To reject. But that's not what I'm looking at. Okay, what I am looking at is they've run previous week low. Okay, and then if you go on to the daily, between, let's hide this, between these candles low and that candle's high, right there, that's where I'm expecting price to. So for the support and resistance, it's just a box or it's just a zone, but I'm looking for a specific price. So I'm looking for this candle's low to be run, and then once it's run, then I'll start looking for reasons to go long. Okay, again, this one is bullish. We have retrace, so I want to go with the bullish trend. Looking on the weekly, can also see why I'm expecting bullishness. We had this down candle, which will should support price for continuation to the upside. So there's a lot of confluence for price to go higher rather than lower, right? So be mindful, all those short sellers, be careful where we are. It's very, very interesting levels. Okay, so going in tomorrow, I'll be looking for some form of a rejection and a pullback to continue going higher. Let's remove all this. Euro pound has moved into a consolidation right now. Based on the weekly, we should continue going higher. Right, my computer is running out of space. Based on the weekly, we should be looking for continuation to the upside. They came to the high of this down candle, and then we saw some rejection over the course of last week. So what I'll be looking at now is the opening price. So if we drop back down to the 4-hour, we saw some rejection, run higher, we've come back down, same level, and a rejection. So if they've not broken market structure yet, because it's struggling to break above a swing high. So we have this last swing high, we have still not broken that, we are still below that, and then we've come back down. Okay, so we need to break to continue going higher. For us to be bearish going down here, price needed to break this low here, right there. So when they broke it right here, yeah, then we had the freedom to move down. So for price to continue going up for now, because this is our last low, we look all the way up and then we find the high and we say, okay, as long as price is below this, we are still bearish based on the 4-hour. So for us to be bullish, price need to close above this high. If we make a new low, so let's say price does this, then we'll be using the high that forms here. Okay, and then we wait for that to be broken, then we start looking for reasons to go long. Right, I've done it a couple of years, and this is what I ended up with in terms of looking for price direction. Before, what I'll do is I'll buy here, at the weekly level, which is this line. So I'll buy here, and then I'll hold on to my buyers forever. So even if price hit this and it goes up and it comes back down, I'll still hold on to my buyers, and then price will break this low and then it keep going down. But because I am bullish, price has returned to a bullish level, which is these two levels here. It will not clock to me that, okay, chances are it might not go up, so it might just keep going down, and it can do that, and then you hold on to your trade and then you lose. So what I ended up doing is, okay, if they really want to go up, I want them to show me that they want to go up. So how do they show me? By breaking here. And most of the time, if they break, there's a high probability that it's not going to come back all the way down. Okay, it's very rare that it does that, and if it does that, that's fine, but I'd rather go with this way. I'd rather go this way rather than holding a buy, because I've done this over and over again, and it's been a painful kind of trading, and I've lost a lot of money doing that. Back in 2018, I held on to a, let's go back in time and I'll show you, so you understand why I wait for this kind of break in structures. So back in 2018, right here, I held on to a long way too much. That was supposed to. Right there. Right here. Okay, so price retraced into this down candle. That's the last down candle prior to this whole move to the upside. We came back down there. Okay, so I was thinking, right, I'm long and I'm buying here. I don't care, the price is gonna go up. Okay, and I held on to my bias, and this is what happened. Without waiting for that break in structure, right here, without waiting for that break in structure here, for price to close above there, because if price did, then there's a high probability it's not going to come back and continue going lower. Okay, so I bought here and I held on to my bias that, okay, it's going to go up, waiting for price to close above it. Then it came all the way back down and I was still long. Okay, and I was still long, and I was blinded to all this, and then it got to a point I couldn't hold on to the losses anymore, because as it kept coming back down, like here, I bought more, thinking by the time it breaks this, I'll be in a lot of money, and then it rolled back down. Then I bought more here, and it goes back up, and then it breaks back down. Then I buy more, and then I got blinded to the whole downside movement. I had no idea, and then it got to a point that the losses were too high, and then I snapped out of the selling. The buying, and I couldn't even go long again, and I couldn't sell, so I was frozen. Mentally, we call it mind freeze. I got a mind freeze. I had no idea what to do next. Right, so because of that experience, I kind of resulted in waiting for this kind of move to happen before I go in. So this is why I'm outlining what I'm showing you here. Okay, in order for this to go up, it needs to break this high. If it doesn't, then there's a high probability it's going to continue going lower, right? But the weekly is suggesting that we are bullish. This is not bearish, it's bullish. But because you're in a retracement, you want to wait for market to tell you that, yes, I want to continue going higher. If it doesn't tell you, you don't do anything. Learn that as early as possible, and then you avoid a lot of pain. So if you want to go short, you can by all means keep following the 4-hour trend. Okay, so anytime it retraces back up, if it's high probability like in here, okay, this up candle, that's a high probability that it can sell back down. This also is a high probability that it can sell back down. Okay, so you can sell here, it stops you out, you sell there, and then if it does ultimately break above this, then you know we are bullish. Then what you just have to do is wait for price to retrace. So you just wait for retracement and then you buy to continue going higher. New Zealand, Aussie New Zealand, I'm looking for, as you can see, not there. Okay, this is what I was watching over the weekend, because you broke down here right there. That's the last time kind of, but because there's two of them, I combined both of them, and I'm looking for a continuation to the downside, at least to come into this tiny mini low gap here. So that's what I'm looking at this week on this pair. We come into the not last up candle, but it is in terms of this high to that low, and that's where we are seeing a rejection. So I'll see if they're gonna continue going lower. You can take this trade if you want, okay, because it's a high probability that price might continue to drop, and then we're gonna see a rally, because that's what I'm expecting. Okay, so going into early tomorrow morning, this thing is gonna give a ultimate direction that it wants to go. So the ultimate direction that I want to see this pair go is to the upside. So they might drive it down maybe today, and then tomorrow with the news fake it to the downside and then take it up, or they can just take it down ultimately and then over the course of the week reject and go higher, right? But for now, I'm looking for, based on the 4-hour structure and the daily structure, let's go into the daily and then you see why I always follow the daily. So the daily broke down up here, and then we've been following it, buying and selling. We bought here and we didn't sell there, we sold here to downside, we didn't buy, and I'm looking for a sell to continue going lower. Okay, so that's where I'm expecting price to drop to. They did leave equal lows in here, which is sometimes a trap that they might come back. How do I know? They've been doing it most of the time. So there was an example in here, right here. They left that equal low, went up, and then came back down and smoked that. There was also another one in here. This one right here, relatively equal low, and then they came back down and smacked it down. Okay, so they are fond of doing that. So equal low, they might come back down and take it and then reject. So my first target on this trade is here, right? And then I'll leave a piece on to see if they will run this before rejecting to go higher. If they break above this high, then I change my bias and I'll start targeting this high and that high, and ultimately that high for long term. But if we break above this high, then I'll target this and that. Okay, so in case this trade becomes a loss, then I'll be mitigating them on the long side for these equal highs. All right. Euro, New Zealand. That's another equal low that I was looking at on the 1 hour. Yeah, as a target to the downside. So on the daily, the daily. Okay, this one is a bit tricky. Why is it tricky? I'll outline why it's tricky. Okay, this is why it's tricky. They failed to close above this high, and then they failed to close below this low. That, to me, in my trading, that's a definition of what? A sideways market. Okay, so when I have a high and a low, they has to break or close one way. Okay, they can't just run stops here and then come and run stops there. Yeah, they run stops here and go and run stops there. That is a ranging market, and you want to be careful trading in such market. If they did close, then this retracement will be a long for me for a continuation to the upside. But the fact that they didn't close, this to me is a sideways market. There are other people that look at the candle's body. Okay, so they'll be looking at this candle's body as the last up candle, and then this one, and saying that we closed above it. So by using this line, okay, they will be saying we closed above it. So then they will be buying for a continuation to the upside. But I don't do that. Yeah, I look at the actual candles, and I look for a proper close, because once they close properly above it, it's not hiding. There's no way hiding. I don't have to click on this for me to know that we closed. So the fact that they didn't close and they didn't close, that's sideways for me. So where I'm interested in doing business when there is this kind of situation is I'll measure the range into 4 quadrants, and then I'm only interested in selling up in here, and I'm only interested in buying down in there, and then avoid anything in the middle. Yeah, I avoid anything in the middle. So for me to consider any selling, we need to come up. I need to find a level in this upper quadrant. So looking at this last up candle is not a bad area to consider a sell. This one here, it's not a bad area to consider a sell and target this equal low. Yeah, it's not a bad area to consider a sell. Even this down candle here itself, it's not a bad candle. That's essentially a breaker. So draw a line there. Right here, that's not a bad candle to consider a sell. Do I want to take it there? I can combine both of them, but the stop loss is too big. Okay, so if I take this, then I might have to put my stop loss at the breaker's high. So that will be the breaker, and it will incorporate this up candle as well. So I can take it this way, or I can take it that way. All right, and look for a continuation to the downside. Okay, so these are two scenarios you can use, whether you want to sell here and place your stop there, or you want to sell this last up candle and place your stop here. It's all up to the trader. Okay, which one do I prefer? I like the breakers. I'm a breaker trader for selling. I like the breakers, so this is something I might look at. Yeah, and it will have the last up candle as well, so this is something that I might look at. Or you can decide to go with the last up candle, which is also fine. It's just preference. Yeah, it's just preference. For my VIP members, I've taught them all, I think, about 5 entry methods that they can use. Okay, and you just have to use 3 of them, and maybe over time I might teach it here as well. It's easy, so you choose which one to go with when the opportunity presents itself. Or you can entirely wait for price to get up here and then it rejects on the lower time frame. So you go into the 15 minutes, price gets up in there, and then you look for the same pattern that you see there. You look for that to form up in here, and then you take it there. Instead of taking this whole big area, you're gonna take your trade somewhere down here, if it does form the same pattern down here. All right, so on Euro New Zealand, that's what you have, either here or there. I'm gonna leave that. Euro Aussie, I think I had this from last week and it didn't quite get to the down candle. Fell short about 2 pips or 3 pips, not sure. Yeah, about 3 pips. I still think it's still relevant. That down candle, that is one of the setups that I taught them, where we do have an original level that price wants to get to, and then they form a short-term high, and then they go and run it and then sell down. Okay, so that's by selling this and run above a previous high. Okay, so run above this previous high into a predetermined level. That's another type of entry. So this is from last week, and I still think it's still relevant this week. Yeah, I still think it's relevant this week, so I'm gonna leave that on there. Last week this thing beat me up. This bear did beat me up last week. I went short here. Yeah, I went short in here. I'm looking for a target here. Okay, that was my target after I went short up here. Not this one there, and price came down and then came all the way up to my entry, and then it came back down, and I was happy. And then in here it broke this high. Okay, so after it broke this high and stopped me out, I was thinking, okay, now we are bullish because we've broken a short-term high. After failing to make a lower low, we broke into the upside, so that's a buy. Then I bought there to continue going up, and then it beat me up again. Yeah, so last week was a hard one on this pair for me. So I came up with this trade after all that happened. So let's see if it's gonna pay itself for the horrible things it did to me last week. So I'm gonna take this one out, put this one here as your first target. Why there? Because we have a lower low, so you don't want to see price come here, reject, and then go higher. So I'm gonna leave your first target somewhere in here, right? and then I think based on the daily, if you do drop back down here, that would be a good sign for a long. If you look on the weekly, we do have a run on stops as well, so we've not broken anywhere. So it's similar to what the Euro New Zealand is doing on the daily. The same thing this one is doing on the weekly. We've not broken anywhere yet, right? So that's a sideways market. So you want to be doing business at the upper portion and the lower portion. So back down to the 4-hour, as a good level. We had a sharp move to the downside. We failed to hit a meaningful level, so this could be a trap. Hit it and then reject. So look for this trade going into tomorrow. And pound Aussie. Let's go on the weekly. And the weekly is sell. The weekly is a sell. Okay, we broke back down. We broke up here, and then we've broken back down. The only problem is, I'm thinking, is this manipulation to send price higher, or is it a breakdown? Because this could be a manipulation and then they will send price higher after this consolidation. I think tonight's rate announcement on or this early hours tomorrow morning on Aussie will determine what the Aussie pairs are going to do. That's what I think. Okay, so after tomorrow's rate announcement, we're gonna get a very good direction on most of the Aussie pairs. Really know exactly where they are trying to reach for. So I'll wait for that, and then once that information comes out, then I'll have because this one is looking like we've manipulated to the downside and then we want to continue going higher, or we've broken to the downside, then we want to go lower. If you look on the daily, then it's like we came back for retracement to rebalance here, and then we might look for a continuation to the downside. But smart money doesn't do that when we have this kind of situation. Okay, this is accumulation, manipulation, and then there could be expanding to the upside. Okay, so accumulation sideways, manipulation, big move to the downside, and then rejection, and then go higher. It could be that. Right, so let's wait and see what they're gonna come up with rate announcement wise, and how price will move on Aussie, so we have a good direction where we want it to go. Because right now I'm 50-50, because there has not been any breaking structure on this pair. We've broken down, and there's not been any break to the upside, sorry. Okay, so it's a bit 50-50 at the moment. You can trade it a 4-hour trend. It is currently bullish. Okay, they did manage to close above this high, so the last down candle is here, very big one. So we could trade the 4-hour trend to the upside. If you know what you're looking for, you can trade it to the upside, and that will be about it. So maybe a trade back to take out this high would be about it. Just trading the 4-hour time frame direction. So this would be a kind of a day trade to scalping model or trading plan. Then you look for a trade to take out this high, and then you'll be done. You're not looking for this kind of trade. You're not looking for this. That's not what you're looking for. Okay, all you're looking for is this, and that will be done. Okay, if not, then stay out and then wait for more information, or I'll wait for more information to make a proper judgment on what price it wants to do. What I wanted it to do, it has done it, which was sell from here, which we did get that last week. Sell from here into there, right here. Okay, so I sell from this last down candle as a breaker, because what we did was we bought this this down candle, and then it stopped us out, so we went into a flip trade. And then as soon as I think we were having a live session, and then we had a quick pullback into that area, and then price spent some time here and then ultimately sent it down. Okay, so that was what I was looking for on this pair, and we've had that. So for now, it's just patience to see what price wants to do. Same thing on this pair. I'm gonna wait for more information because I don't know what it wants to do right now. Yeah, ideally I wanted it to come back down here for a pullback and then a push high again into this little gap. But we've been here, so to close that in there. So if we did get a pullback inside here, then I'll look for a long to come and close that in, and that'll be the trade I'll be looking for. But we didn't get to the level I was looking for, and we are stuck in this for now. So I don't know what to do with it right now. So it's either we drop back down, then I look for a reason to go long up in here. I want to sell it? Not really, because the daily is bullish. We took out this low and then we broke above that high. So to me, the daily is bullish, right? So I don't want to go short, I want to go long. Aussie yen, let's drop down to remove all this. Okay, we are at a high time frame level, which should support price and send us back down. Okay, this down candle and the 50% with this gap here should be enough to send price down. I'm gonna bring this one right here. If we trade above this high, then I think I don't see anything up in here apart from the last up candle opening price. Right, so if we go above this gap in here, then the last up candle opening price is where I'll be watching for this whole move again. So if you drop down to lower time frame, you see what I mean. So this kind of move, okay, should continue going lower, but if you don't, then the next level I'll be expecting that same kind of move will be up here. Yeah, that daily last up candle, that's where I'll be expecting another move to the downside. I like the way they've left this consolidation before moving away. Really nice. I think what might happen is they might run this previous week high and then break down and make an attempt to come and take out this low. That's a possibility. So they might run previous week high, reject, and then come back down and take out this low, and still be okay, because we will still be in that gap, which is at the 50% of the last down candle, right? So that's another thing to watch out for, because they can send it up, quickly reject and break down and start dropping. If you don't get that, then look for the last up candle on the daily. So that's the 76.50 level. New Zealand yen, that's also stuck at the last down candle on the daily. This one here, did I say down or up? Can't remember. This up candle here, that's where price is stuck, right? So we could see a rejection to continue going lower, or they could come for these equal highs. The reason why is they didn't close below on this one. So you see this box I have here, that's a range. So we could be stuck in that range because they didn't close below here. They did close above there, but they didn't close below here. So we could be stuck in this range. So price could go all the way up. Sorry for that. Price could go all the way up and still be okay to come back down. Yeah, because they'll be stuck in this whole trading range. For now, this is what I'm watching. We did get here on Friday, right here, the opening price, the closing price here, and then we banged in and rejected. There was lower time frame trades, and I think I did share that with the VIP members on how to use the lower time frame to take opportunity of that. And then since then we've come all the way back up again. So that same down candle is still valid. We've not broken it, so it's still valid. They could run this and then break down. We are bearish. We need to break down before we start looking for sells. If not, then right now you can counter trade and buy it and look for this equal high, and that is also fine. I don't do counter trade. I don't like to go against the trend because we have impulse leg to the downside. So this is just a retracement to me, and then I'll look for another impulse leg to the downside. Okay, between Aussie yen and this, I think I prefer this because this one has got better structure on the daily. Right, we had low, high, break. We didn't have that on here. So for structure wise on the daily, I prefer the Aussie yen, and I would rather take a trade on this one. Euro yen, wow, didn't see this coming. Okay, so they've run this low and rejected and broken above that high. That means that is bullish. Let's look on the weekly. Pardon me if you had me yawning. I had a pretty intense weekend. I'm trying to figure out what they want to do. So these are my high time frame daily levels that I'll watch. On the 4-hour, this is looking interesting for a buy. Yeah, the fact that they ran this low and then rejected with this energy. If we do come back down here, that will be a good attempt to go long. Yeah, if they do come back down there, that would be a good attempt to go long, based on the 4 hour. So we might get some form of a rejection between these 2 up candles. We might get some form of a rejection, and if that rejection leads to a retracement, then do that. Okay, because I think price will find it hard breaking this high. So if you do get the rejection to come all the way back down to here, then you can participate in a long to go into the next level, which is this high for now, right? And then if it does take out this low, then look at this one. That's another type of trade entry. Okay, short-term low, run into a high time frame, high probability level. So this down candle here is a high probability level, and they've left a short-term low. So if they do stop you out, then this is another level to consider long for the same continuation to the upside. In October, I'm expecting weakness in the yen, in the Japanese yen. So I don't think this is just the first week, so we will get some bullishness move, but there will be retracement. So if this is the beginning of the bullishness, then if it does retrace here, then by all means you can consider long. But if they want to just manipulate it and go up and come back down again before going higher, and you also have that level. Okay, pound yen. Let's go to the weekly. Okay, so that's a quick top-down analysis that I've just done there, and that is the level for now I think they might run price into. Yeah, and you do have a lovely last up candle there. Yeah, this one here looks lovely. Run. Today's Monday. Let's take out this and bring in that one. Okay, so that was run on price will get up in here. Okay, so they've done a recent run on stops here, so price will be reaching for here, and then once we get there, it's gonna find it hard to break above that. Let's hide this for now. I'm bearish on the yen. That means this thing can continue going higher, but it's the timing of it. Where does it start going up right now, or is it gonna come back down for retracement before going higher? I'm bearish on the yen. That means I'm bullish on the pound. So this move is not bad, but my only problem is, are they going to manipulate it back down again before going higher? Okay, that's what I'm trying to forecast. So if they do hit this level, do they come back down and then kill off those who are already long and then go higher? So for now, I'm just gonna allow price to come up in here, okay, and then see what price is gonna do. If we do break above it, then I think they've now committed going higher. This was just consolidation that I expected them to run and then break down. Okay, so I expected to see them run this and then break down and come back down to take out this low before beginning the actual move to the upside. Okay, but because they did run it and then rejected and rejected this low and continue going higher, for now they want to come up here. So once we get up there, then I'll decide what they are going to do based on what happens in here. So if I see a rejection, then maybe they will come back down for a pullback and then continue going higher. But if we break above this side, then I think they might want to continue going higher. Therefore, I'll look for reasons to be a buyer to come up in here, to come back up in there. Okay, so that's the narrative on this pair. So if we do break above this high, then I'll look for pullback and then continuation to come up here. Okay, that'll be not the best trade out there, but it will offer some pips. Yeah, that's over 180 pips. So if we do break above there, that is for the grab. But I would like them to retrace. If they do retrace, let's drop down to the hourly. This down candle is very nice with that little gap in there. So long here to continue going higher. Okay, so if you do get price to hit this and it starts dropping, that's a decent level to consider long, because they've already done some business by killing off longs here. So I don't expect them to run down. Okay, then I'll look for a buy to continue going higher. CAD yen, I did have this one for a trade idea, but I mentioned that I was not confident taking this simply because I wanted to see this whole consolidation. I wanted to see them run. So it's a good level to go long, but I preferred down here as the possible buy. Now it's showing commitment on their part that they want to continue going higher. So low, taking out this low, breaking above this high, this down candle. That's the breaking structure that I talk about. Okay, so this is an example of a trade you can look to understand the breaking structure that I always, or you see me talking about, which is price makes a low and then it takes out close above the high. Okay, so that's a breaking structure. So a return to the down candle should send price higher. So that's why I did outline this trade idea. But because we are starting a new month of October, I was expecting some form of manipulation to the downside before they commit to the upside. But they've now closed above this high, so that's showing real commitment that they want to continue going higher. So this trade is still valid, but I'm going to transfer it to this down candle now. So if we do get retracement back to this down candle, then I will buy, because they are showing willingness. They want to continue going higher basically. All right, so then I'll buy here for the next retracement. And I'll still leave my level down there just in case they decide to do something unexpected, because they can do whatever they want. Right, and then for targets, we do have some nice equal highs in here. Right, so this could just run all the way up there. And then you have another high. I was expecting back in, I think over a month ago, I was expecting price to come and hit this last up candle. So that could be a future long term, maybe the next quarter, from October, November, December, this 3 months, maybe we can see price up in here. Okay, so for the next 3 months, I am bullish on this pair going forward. They have formed a low by today's this week's candle, so I'm bullish and I'm looking for higher prices on this pair. Right, so if we do get back down as a retracement, any retracement back down, you can potentially look for a long for a continuation to the upside. EuroCAD. Let's see if they can close above here. If they do close, I like the way they've left here with that kind of energy. So on the hourly, it's not much. On the 4 hour, yes, a down candle is looking nice. On the hourly, there's nothing much there, but on the 4 hour, this level is not bad. So if they do close above here, then I think a retracement back down will be a good buy for the upside objectives that we have. Right, previous week's lows are still intact, so yep, previous week's lows are still intact. If I bring out, so last week's low is here and it's still intact. Right, so if we do close above there, then I think retracement will cause price to go higher. So let's wait and see. Let's go into the 4 again. Yeah, let's wait and see if they will close above this high. New Zealand CAD price is stuck in sideways, so nothing to say on this pair. If we go on to the daily, you can see what the daily is doing. It took out this and then went back in. So it is looking bullish / sideways, because this is potentially a run on stops on this swing low and then rejection to continue going higher. So it's looking bullish / sideways. So targets right now is above this high, and the trade idea I had last week was a buy from here. So I like this low gap in there, and then I'm covering myself with this down candle here, and then target is all the way up there. Okay, so that's what I have, or I had on this last week, but price never retraced to the level I wanted, so it's still there. Aussie CAD, I had this for last week, and I think I'm gonna leave this one as well. Because we are in a new week, I'm still gonna go for the same thing. This is a lower it didn't make a high, so I don't see this candle as a breaker too. It's a mitigation, the brother of breaker or the sister of breaker, whichever way. So I could, or you could sell this, but I don't trust mitigation blocks. Yeah, I don't trust them. I only trust breakers. So this could hold price and send it down, but I don't trust them. So I will look for a run above this high and then sell short. If not, then I'm not doing anything at the moment. Bitcoin, yep. Over the weekend, I was looking at price and I did see this last up candle. I like it. So I can consider something in here for a continuation to the downside to take out this low and that low. Okay, if we break above it, then I think they might want to come up here, and then probably price will change direction to come back and fill some of these daily imbalance. So if we take out this high, I think price might come up to this last up candle, right? So watch that 4-hour up candle there for a potential sell. If it does stops out, then I think they might want to come up here and take out this high. Gold, let's go on the daily. Yep, I think gold is coming up in here. It wants to come back and rebalance some of these huge moves to the downside before continuing going down, because the down candles has been supporting price. Again, this is another pair that did my head in last week as well. I went long in here and I was targeting this high, this level, and then price came all the way back down, stopped me out, and then went to my target. It's a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Okay, so I went long in here looking for that target. Price came back down, stopped me out, and then went there. Okay, and then retrace again, taking out this low, and then gone there again. So it looks like they are killing people off and then going into that same direction. Right? Sometimes it's good to trade without stops. Because if I didn't trade with a stop loss, then I will still be in this trade. But you cannot, never ever trade without a stop loss. Don't do that. Yeah, make it a habit to always trade with a stop loss. Okay, so and run below this, they've taken that one, and I think they might send it higher. Let's see what Mr. Dollar is going to do. We did hit the 93.42, so let's see if we're gonna get the rejection to go higher now, as I'm expecting. If you do get that, maybe gold might not get there, and then they might just come back. They might have just come back to take out this high and then break down. So watch this low based on the hourly. Watch this low based on the 4-hour. Watch this down candle. That would be a very nice breaker to sell on gold to come and take out these equal lows. So if we turn around and you see a huge move down here to take out this down candle, I think you can sell short the low, place your stop above this high, and then look for a target here. Right, if we do get dollar to reject and start going higher, and you see gold break down this down candle, it breaks it, then look for a sell at the candle's low with a stop above this high, and then target here. So something like this. Yeah, something like that. And then we do have higher time frame levels on the downside. Those are extreme, so you can leave a portion of your trade to hit or to target these levels, but your main target will be here, and then you leave a piece on to see if it's gonna get to those levels. So it's not a sell until we close below this down candle, right? and if it don't and it closes above this, then this down candle is a high probability long. So let's delete that. Okay, so this candle, there's a lot of interest about it because it has run the stops. Okay, and the same time it did run the stop, so a lot of interest on this down candle. If we close above it, retracement down here is a buy to go up. If we close below here, retracement to that same down candle is a sell to come down here. And then finally, oil has rejected. Looks like it wants to balance out all the down candles in here. Watch this level and that one. Let's drop down to the hourly. Watch that one. They left consolidation here prior to moving up, so they could be coming up to come back down, right? So watch this level. Yeah, watch that level to see how price will react in there. If we break above here, I'm not saying sell there, I said watch it. If you want to trade, wait for a break instructor on the lower time frame. So this is the 1 hour, so you're going to drop down to the 15 or 5 minutes, and then you wait for a break instructor, and then you can sell short to continue going down, right? But watch it and see if that will happen. If it doesn't, then if they break above this high, then I think they will come back up to take out these highs, right? So you're not gonna sell you can never say never. You can sell short like this and look for this, but like I explained earlier, I've done this several times and it does hurt. Yeah, it does hurt when you could have just wait for some form of a rejection and then just go in rather than selling as it's coming up, right? So wait for price to show you that they want to go down, then you go in. If not, watch it and see if it's gonna give you that. If you don't any break above, then obviously you know we're gonna go up. Then you just have to wait for pullbacks. So for the pullbacks, it's gonna give you some down candle in here, and then you can use that to go long, right? But this looks like it's coming back up to come back down here. We do have high time frame level sitting right there, and they did form a short-term low, so that looks like a trap, and they might come back and then go higher. So that will be it for me. Obviously today's Monday, so I've gone through the high time frame to give us a perspective of what I'm looking for the week. Going forward, Wednesday we will be going in just the lower time frames, which is the 4 hour, 1 hour, to be looking for and the direction that I've spoke about today. So if you do have any question, please send it, or if you have any pair recommendation, let me know and then I'll look at it for you. If not, then I'll see the YouTube members on Wednesday at 2, and then I'll see the VIP members tomorrow at 9 a.m. If you do have any question, just send it, or if you have any pair recommendation, send it and then I'll look at it for you. Or if not, then I'll call it a day. All good, all good. Okay. What's that? X. Alright, let's look at this one first. I don't know what symbol that is. Oh, that's the... Which market is this? The S&P 500. Okay. S&P 500. Let's go on the weekly. Weekly is very, very bullish. Very bullish. It came back to the down candle. Here. And found support. So on the daily, it broke a short-term high. So that's looking bullish. So now this would be a target, and then there. Right there, that's also a target. I do teach a concept of manipulation. So this down candle here, that's a reaccumulation. So if today closes as it is, okay, it does 168 is matching up with the first target right there. Yeah, so if we close as we are, 168, and then that 2% level is achievable. So for entry wise, so these are your upside objectives. For entry wise, I think price has just left a good area of entry. Just this huge move away. We call it elephant in the room move. Okay, this one. That's an elephant in the room move, and then we came back down, and then price is shooting up. I think after it takes out this high, it might come back down for a bit of a retracement. It might come back down for a bit of retracement. So the best level is gone. Yeah, this was the best entry. Yeah, this morning was the best entry. For now, if we do take out this high and reject, I don't like this down candle. If we did retrace before going up there, then that's fine. But if we do take out this and we reject, I don't like it. So what you can do is wait for today to close. Okay, draw a line here, and I'll go and use gold as an example for what you can look for. Okay, so you have two lines on your chart, these two. And then you drop down to the hourly. Yeah, you drop down to the hourly. Nothing showing much. Let's go into the 15 minutes. Yeah, I think that one is decent. So you can wait for pullback here, and then you buy. Okay, but don't buy it today. Okay, wait for today to close to confirm that they are willing to go up, because the daily candle needs to close as it is. Yeah, the daily candle needs to close as it is, and that will confirm that they want to go up by closing above this down candle. Yeah, that will confirm they want to go up with that down candle. So then you will take a trade based on today's closure and having the belief that they want to continue going higher, and then you'll be buying this down candle. So tomorrow opens, you're gonna see a move back down. So let's go to gold and then show you how it's done. So this is similar. Okay, so we have gold closing above a down candle. So what you'll be doing is this, and then that, yeah, those two lines. And then on the hourly, you wait for price to come there. So these two levels, you wait for price. Let's go back to the daily and draw a line here. Actually, let me use my daily dividers. I don't know why it's not showing, but that is Thursday's trading. Right there. So Wednesday's trading was a down candle. Okay, so that's Wednesday's trading. So that's the down candle on the daily, right? And that's the high, and that's the opening price. So you draw a line on the opening price and the high, and then you wait for price to come back down. So this is the day price closed above it, which is the Thursday. Thursday's date was 1st, and then price closed above it here. Okay, so on Friday, you're looking for a trade at that level, this level and that level. So in the 15 minutes, you're looking for a breaking structure. So you'll be looking for something like this, breaking structure, and then you go long. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. So you have your lines. The last one that you could draw is the mean threshold, but usually I don't look for that in reaccumulation. Yeah, in reaccumulation, i.e. when price is going up like this, I don't use the mean threshold, but that's another level that you can use, which is the middle of this down candle, which is right here. You can use the Fibonacci tool to actually measure that. So the middle will be here. So you have the high open and then the mean threshold measured. Okay, and those are the levels you'll be watching to see the breaking structure. So you can see the mean threshold is where price hit and then broke structure, and then you can buy. So going back to the XP, going back to this one, okay, what I've just outlined there, you can do the same thing in here. So you can have the high, the low, and the mean threshold like that on your chart. And then tomorrow on the 15 minutes time frame, you'll be waiting for a pullback. Yeah, and then once it pulls back down, you'll be looking for a breaking structure. And then once you see the breaking structure, then you buy it, and then you target these two Your first target is here, and the second target is up there. Right? I'm pretty much sure that Frank 40 will be in the same situation. Okay, maybe not. So they have taken out their stops. You have a short-term high in here. We've not broken structure yet. Right? If we break this, they might want to rebalance some of the move that we had to the downside. So that will be an area to consider. Yeah, it does also line up with this almost. So that's where you want to target for first target. If we get closer above there, okay, that's the last swing high prior to this stop run. So if we do close, see price is rejecting. If you do close above it, if you're gonna wait for the daily to close, you will miss the trade, right? So use the 1 hour to look for the close. Okay, so wait for the 1 hour to close above this level. It needs to properly close, because I've seen several times that it will look as if it did close and then only for it to run back down again. It did that on gold. I always like to show examples so you can have a good idea of what I mean. So gold did the same thing to me back in prior to all that huge move. Let's go into the daily so I can pinpoint. Okay. Right in here. Let's delete this. Delete these. Bear with me. Yep, when I was looking for 1722, so it was, yeah, in here. Right. Boom. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Yep, right there. Right there. Okay. So I was looking for a closer above that level, and then I'll start looking for longs. Okay, and it did look as if it did close above it, only to reject and then drop. And if I play it, you're gonna see it went pretty much down. So I bought here, okay, and then it did this to me. Yeah, I bought here and it did this to me. So you want to wait for a proper closure, because if not, this is something that might end up happening to you. So back to where I was talking about, you want a proper sorry for my tongue twist. You want a proper close. Okay, so wait for proper close, not something like this, because this is also, it looks like a date, but it's not. Yeah, so wait for a proper close, maybe a close above this high, and look at the candle that closed. Then you can look for a long to here. All right, so that is for Frank 40. Let's go to GBP JPY. I said we should reach for this level. If you do retrace down, okay, down here, then you can also buy but for now is looking bullish to go up to 1374. Yeah, 1374. That's where it's looking to go. It's a high time frame level. This one, actually it's a monthly. Yeah, monthly last up candle. That's where it's looking to reach for. Right, so that's for pound yen. Any other pair recommendation? Okay, cool. So I think I've overstayed my time. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. And for VIP members, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your day and take good care of yourselves. Be careful out there. There's a lot going on. Right? So stay safe and just enjoy your time with your family.